myself for 5 minutes for questions, and let me ask you if you could possibly keep your answers to 1 minute. I've got lots of questions and would like to get through as many as possible. Dr. Allison, first one for you. What are the advantages of UAM networks over self-driving cars or helicopters?
Thank you, Congressman, for the question. We see the advantages of this type of aerial ride sharing as the ability to have both higher speed point to point, but also higher certainty. So once you take off, the likelihood or the prediction of what time you're going to land is quite accurate versus the ground transportation where you have much more congestion. And so you have both higher speed and lower variance, which adds a unique capability into the transportation network. And these types of vehicles additionally will be quieter, safer, and much cheaper to operate than traditional helicopters, which will make it much more accessible as a transportation system.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Allison. Ms. Dietrich, the transition will be the first flying car available for public purchase. How confident are you that they're going to be available to be bought next year?
Well, I'm much more confident that the transition will be available for purchase in 2019 than I would have been several years ago, giving you an estimate.
Okay.
We are currently tooling up for production. We do have customers in line for delivery, and as of today, things are on track for that.
And
so
what do they cost, and are you taking orders?
We are taking orders. We have a team at Oshkosh this week, actually, for that. And we anticipate if you're going to do private ownership model, it'll be typical aircraft pricing. So
what is that?
$400,000 in that ballpark. Okay. Airplanes are expensive.
Okay.
We are looking at other options for being able to use the vehicle on more of a shared use basis as well.
And in 5 to 10 years, you hope to have some kind of a public transportation taxi service. Is that right?
The TF2 timeframe is 5 to 10 years. That's correct. That's the video that we saw this morning.
Dr. Allison wants to know, won't you be competing with Uber?
Well, I think there's a very broad market space, and I think Uber is focused on operating inside city centers, and the TF2 gives you an opportunity to bring people into that city center from surrounding areas. So I see it as a very complementary service, actually.
Wow, you're a politician. Okay. Dr. Shin, on the urban air mobility, NASA has announced a grand challenge. What does that consist of? What are the details?
Yes, thank you for the question. We envision that private industry investment and the pace of technology advancement is just amazing and great. So we are trying to find exactly what government should be doing to enable that private investment and progress. So we would like to provide a forum where industry partners can come and check their ability and capabilities. So government will provide a certain level of requirements, in particularly in safety area and noise area and areas like that at the system level.
When will that be announced? When are you going to?
We are formulating what sort of executive grand challenge should be as we are speaking. My team has been working on that for months, and we are hoping to announce the intent by early next year so that industry partners can prepare. And then toward the end of next calendar year, we are hoping to announce Grand Challenge.
Okay, that'll be a good incentive. Mr. Thacker, I know you have a partnership with Uber to design vertical takeoff or landing vehicles. A question for you, and obviously Bell has changed its name from Bell Helicopter to just Bell. That may be part of the answer. But do you think the days of the helicopters are limited, or are there still advantages to helicopters?
So the days of the helicopter are not limited, but we do see the world changing, and Bell is much more than helicopters. We already are more than helicopters with tilt rotor with the V-22 and the V-280 for the Army and Marines' future vertical lift needs. But beyond this move in technology and convergence of electric, hybrid, and distributed propulsion allows a new breed of vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. One's for markets like the Uber network, but also for carrying cargo and logistics, as Dr. Clarke mentioned. We see that as a tremendous opportunity for a business, and one that as a legacy leader in vertical lift, we should be leading as well. And so thus the change from Bell Helicopter to Bell. However, from a heavy standpoint, from things that require large amounts of lift, there will be hydrocarbon burning helicopters around for a good long time.
And perhaps long distances as well?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Thacker. Dr. Clarke, what kind of public-private partnerships can we expect in coming years?
I think, you know, it's not realistic to expect the FAA to be expanded to actually dealing with air traffic control in the urban environment. So I do believe municipalities will be involved for liability reasons, and I think there are lots of companies out there working on ideas for air traffic management, and the NASA UTM program has been very instrumental in figuring out how to get people to communicate and different entities to communicate together. So ultimately, I see like a cable model where some part of an urban area will be allocated a space for them to provide a service of air traffic control. Obviously, the regulations have to be, proper regulations have to be put in place, and the communications and handoff from one area to the other will have to be worked out. But I envision a cable model in a short sentence.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Clarke. That concludes my questions.